All right, guys, here I am. Another episode of the Gospel Fire. Jiu-Jitsu stud, Jiu-Jitsu star, Atos legend, Josh Hinger. What up?
Hey, it's a cool podcast name.
The Gospel Fire?
Gospel of Fire.
Yeah, man. You got to go through the fucking fire if you want to get good at something.
So true. It's so true. All
right, you told me you were going to drop. You wanted to talk about the bomb that just got dropped on the internet.
So we're talking about what we're going to talk about, and I was like, bro, how, did you not look at Facebook in the last 5 minutes or 20 minutes?
I mean, I looked at it 10 minutes ago, but what happened?
Claudio Duval.
Oh God, De La Riva. Is that true? I don't know. I saw it on BJJEE, and I never believe anything on that site.
No, they're garbage. I read it on BJJ Heroes, and that guy's legit.
That guy's legit. Oh, man, I really hope not.
He is the most non-biased reporter in the business. Like, that guy does such a squared-away job.
Yeah.
His website is phenomenal.
I really hope that that's not true, you know? I really hope that that's some bullshit. I
think BJJEE used the word rape. And BJJ Heroes didn't. They called it sexual assault. And
okay.
I don't know if you think there's a difference.
Well, there's a difference. Yeah, for sure. Rape has to, yeah, there's definitely a difference.
Way more severe, right?
Way more severe. I mean, sexual assault can be very severe.
I just grab you wrong. That's sexual assault.
That is sexual assault, right? Like sexual assault is way more broad, where rape is you rape
somebody.
More
severe, right?
So, yes. I think automatically if you get charged with rape, you're also getting charged with sexual assault. Like I think one has to go with the other, but sexual assault does not have to come with rape, as I think what the difference is.
So the title of the article is Claudio Duval leaves Team De La Riva amid sexual misconduct allegations. That's a responsible headline.
Yes, that's a responsible headline.
That's BJJ Heroes, and I love that guy, and I'm good friends with him, and I talk to him all the time. He's a cool dude. BJJEE, I don't know what it said exactly, but I'm pretty sure they used the word rape in the title.
Yeah, they did something like somebody sent it to me, and I was like, I don't even fucking read that shit. You know, like I'll go to BJJEE sometimes if I want to see some like McDojo stuff.
It's tabloid shit.
Yeah, it's tabloids. But now like McDojo Life has an Instagram, so you don't even have to go for that anymore.
Right. So, but BJJ Heroes is legit. They would never. That guy is the most responsible reporter in this business. I don't think he would never. He chooses every word very carefully.
Which is what we should be doing.
Right.
You know, which is what we should be doing.
So I messaged him, and he didn't want to release the story until he had the story for a week already. And he didn't want to release the story until he got a statement from De La Riva. And he contacted De La Riva and was waiting for a response. And I messaged him just now, and he's like, those motherfuckers from BJJEE got a hold of this story and dropped it. And it wasn't ready to be dropped because no one has heard from De La Riva at all, which I think is also great on the part of BJJ Heroes, that they went and tried to contact De La Riva and they tried to get a statement from him first before creating a fucking hoopla about it. And then BJJEE dropped it. So then BJJ Heroes had to drop it also.
I'm super torn on this, like this type of issue, because I have a good friend. Actually, he just passed 2 weeks ago. He overdosed and died, unfortunately. It's okay. He was my best friend growing up, and it sucked.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It sucked. It really, like literally we closed the school on a Friday, and then on the next day I got a phone call that he OD'd. And I was like, oh my God.
He was your partner.
He's one of my best friends. Like, so it was just me and him for my whole life growing up. It was just me and him, and he actually got accused of rape.
Really?
And like he got arrested. He was on house arrest for like 3 months during the summer. And it was the summer that we just got our driver's licenses and all that,
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be out like fucking partying, but I didn't want to leave him, so I just like went over his house and hung out all day, every day in the summer. And then like when it went to court, dude, the girl, we're in court and the girl's testifying on the stand, and she's like, my pants were down like 3 inches from my hips or 6 inches, and like, it was only the judge at this point. It was like some evidentiary hearing. Right. And the judge is like, hold on, where were your pants? And she was like, and she points to it, and it's like her upper thigh.
Right.
And he's like, hey, I'm not sure. And he said this much more like politically, like, eloquently than I'm about to, but he's like, I'm not really sure if you know how sex works, but you have to be able to open your legs. And if you can't open your legs, then there can be no sex. So you're sure there was, and first he went through like, you're sure there was sex, like penis and vagina. And she was like, yes. And then, and then the judge was like, okay, this is thrown out, and then but like it ruined him for a long time.
Her story was just inconsistent.
Yeah. It didn't happen, and then it came out that, she had done this to somebody else a couple of years ago, Yeah. And it's like, man, like, so it's so hard on both sides, like, because this shit is real. There are fucking dirtbags.
Allegations will ruin your life. Also,
right. And there are dirtbags, like the dude at Fight Sports, right? Cyborg's black belt. He wasn't at Fight Sports, right? A couple of years ago, that guy was a dirtbag.
What happened? And he had an underage person, right?
He had a relationship. He started with her at 14, right? So
he was the guy that was running that tournament. What was that fucking tournament called? Where if you pushed him out of bounds, you could get a point. It was in Florida.
Oh yeah. Gary Tone. DJ beat Gary in that one.
Yeah, Lucas was there also.
Yeah.
Enrique Coco. Yeah, and I remember talking to that guy, and he was trying to get me to go to that tournament. And I just remember talking to him and just getting fucking bad vibes from him, bro.
Yeah.
Bad vibes.
So like the problem is it's fucking real.
Right.
Like this, it's a real thing. But if people would stop blowing it out of proportion, then maybe we could get to like some truth. And everyone does this on like every issue, and it's so frustrating. That's so hard to find what like some truth is. It's almost impossible.
Right. And that's why I really respected what BJJ Heroes was trying to do. They were not trying to just ring the fucking alarm straight away. They were like, no, I wanted to wait, and I wanted to talk to De La Hiva and get a statement from him. But BJJE jumped the gun and dropped it. So he had to drop it. Otherwise no one would see his story at all.
Right.
So at least his story gives a little more accurate description of what happened.
What might have happened, right? Or why she feels she's leaving.
Right.
Why she feels that she needs to leave the school, which is totally fair on her point if she feels that way.
Yeah, I think she switched teams. She's at Soul Fighters now.
Okay, gotcha.
So also what I heard, so when I talked to BJJ Heroes, they were talking to, I will not name their name, but a black belt under De La Hiva, right, who I believe spoke with De La Hiva, and I think he's going to get a lawyer and kind of fight back and maybe pursue some, what's it called? Defamation charges.
Yeah. Well, fuck yeah, he's going to.
So he's denying it. And then, so I think he's going to call her out and say that she's lying. And then now there's going to be a long drawn out legal battle.
God, why do people fuck their students? I mean, even if it was consensual here, right? Like, just don't fuck your students.
It's just trouble, bro. You're
just
playing
don't
with
do
fire.
it. It's never, yeah.
Fire.
Like what, I mean, like, like what, I get it. Like we have, like, I understand like the two students get together. Like that's one thing, but and that normally goes bad too. right. Like
not detrimental to the business. Usually. Right.
But the fucking of your students is it's so slime bag. It's so sleazy, like it just.
Well, it's weird because you're accepting money from them.
Yeah.
And you're having sex with them.
And then like, do you stop accepting money? Like once the relationship, like once you're sleeping together, do you go, okay, now you don't have to pay? Because then that's prostitution.
Right. Or is that also prostitution when you're accepting the money?
Well, you're not accepting the money for sexual services. You're accepting the money for jiu-jitsu. Right. Supposedly. I don't fucking know, right? Just don't do it. It's don't do it. Like, and I don't know what it is with these, like if some of the guys are just weak dudes, like, dude, I mean, like, look, I'm not for it. I've never done it, but if you want to go on seminar tours and sleep with the students, then I don't like at the seminars, like I've always been married or with my girl, my wife. So like that was never an option for me. So like, but if you want to do that, I don't agree with it, but like, it's not terrible. Right. Like, but like, dude, if you like your students, like, what are you fucking doing? Like you are just asking for a shit show of life.
For trouble. Yeah. Because it can go bad in so many ways. And no matter what, you're not going to look good.
Right. No. Like, how do you come out of it?
Yeah. No matter what, either you're going to get married and live happily ever after, which is the ideal situation.
But so rare.
Right? More than likely, there's going to be a breakup. And then someone's going to be upset and someone's going to say some shit and you're not going to be able to prove it either way.
No, and then half your school's going to go away, and then you're going to have this whole time where not only, like, maybe it was legit and you guys legitimately broke up and you're really sad about it, but now you're going to be ruined as well. You're going to be dealing with bullshit as well, which is just, I don't understand how it's worth it. There's so many other people in the world that you could go sleep with.
Yeah, I dated someone about 3 years ago. Not a student, right? It was it's complicated, but anyways, I met them through jiu-jitsu, right? Mm-hmm. They eventually made their way to Atos after we started seeing each other. Okay. And then they trained at Atos for a year or so. But anyways, it ended up ending. And my God, she spread the most vicious rumors about me that you could have ever just conjured up. Like, just vicious, bro. And to be honest, the breakup, we had an argument. I walked out. I was like, you know what? This is not working. We're done. She resisted. It was like a normal fight you would expect during a breakup. Pretty standard issue breakup fight. And then, for about a week, she was like, no, let's get back together. I'm sorry. And like, she tried to work it out. And then once she realized it wasn't going to happen, she flipped the switch and just turned into my enemy and just spread horrible rumors about me, bro. Tried to like badmouth me to the IBJJF. Like, luckily they took it with a grain of salt and they understood the situation. Like, oh, breakup happens. Someone gets upset.
It might be you that gets upset, right? It could be as the instructor, you might be heartbroken. I don't fucking know. Just don't do it. It's just, I
learned my lesson, bro. Trust me. After that experience, never again. I will never date someone who trains at the same academy as me, even as a student, because I'm not even really a normal student, right? Like, it's not my academy. I am a student of Galvao. It's not my academy. I don't take money from anyone. I'm not the instructor for any of the adult classes. I only teach the kid classes, but I'm still in a unique position of authority as a long-standing, Galvao instructor. Right. So I'm in a weird situation where it's just not safe to date people that train there. I think it's weird sometimes. Like, I think guys get a black belt, right? And like, look, we're all a little bit of weirdos, jiu-jitsu guys, and like maybe growing up, we did, maybe we didn't have, like, maybe we weren't the cool kids or like whatever. Us enough.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever it is, right? Like maybe we weren't the cool kids. And then you get this black belt. Now you have all this power, like
it's definitely influence
in everything. Well, you have power in your school too, right? Like you have
power.
Yeah. And then God forbid if you're working there, like, we have a pretty strict policy at our school now. Like, we've had enough bullshit happen that it's like, look, okay, if you want to date a student, like if you really want to do this, you're going to come in, you're going to sit down with us, and you and the student are going to sign paperwork.
This is what corporations do.
Yeah. I have 7 schools. Right? So 7 schools? We have 7 schools. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Bro. It's crazy right now. Trust me. You want to know what you should see what payroll looks like during no income.
Man, I'm feeling for you.
Fuck. Like you couldn't prepare for COVID.
No.
Like, open one day and then closed.
Yeah. No one saw it coming.
Yeah. You could see, okay, martial arts turns down. Okay. Jiu-jitsu. Okay. I mess up a little bit, something. And you have this trek down, right? But you don't have a fall off the cliff.
You don't expect it to hit the bottom.
No, not from one day to the next, not from fully open to fully closed.
Right.
So what's your jiu-jitsu story, man? I mean, like, obviously you're a star now, right? But I don't know your story. Where did it start? Where did it come from? How did you get in this whole thing?
I was washing my car one day outside in my driveway when I was 21, and a guy that I had wrestled with in high school drove past my house, and we could just glimpse at each other and lock. And I hadn't seen him in years. And I just saw him right as he passed, and then he stopped, he backed up, and we started talking, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go check out this jiu-jitsu academy that just opened. It was the first one that opened in Temecula. Temecula is like 45 minutes from San Diego. Okay. Have you heard?
Temecula? Yeah. So,
Dan Henderson
school. And I fought a couple guys from Dan Henderson. So,
yeah. So no one knew what Temecula was until Dan Henderson arrived.
Dan Henderson. Yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, so of course I made the joke, the karate hand joke, that everyone makes when I hear the word jiu-jitsu. I was like, yeah, I'm not really into like that shit, He goes, no, man, it's like ultimate fighting, it's like cage fighting, because the guy that ran the academy, his name is Chris Brennan. Do you know that name?
Oh yeah.
Chris Brennan.
What was his name? Well, he has
West Side Strangler.
West Side Strangler, yeah. So one of the first Grappler's Quests, bro. We're talking like probably 2001. You know, he shows up with this huge fucking truck, you know, like, and they just bounce out of it. Like all of his like crew, like they like ran the place.
Yeah. The Next Generation guys. Yeah.
Next Generation. Yes.
Yeah. So that was the first academy I signed up at. I went in for one class. I loved it. You know, I went with my friend and I paid for the full year right then on the spot, $1,000 for a year. And then it started training. It was just no gi.
Back in the day.
Yeah, you know, and he was an MMA fighter, so he had a team, and I had a wrestling background from high school. So
okay. Is that where you grew up in California?
Yeah. Southern California.
Okay.
And then he hit me up one day, 4 months into training. He goes, "Hey, you want to fight?" And I was like, "In a cage?" Yeah, fuck yeah. And so like 2 months later, I trained for 2 months, and then we went to Lake Havasu, and he threw me in a cage for $300. And I fought a guy that was 0-0. I was 0-0, threw them hands, and then I eventually got to his back and choked him out. So I just continued training with Trish for 2 or 3 years. I had 5 fights under him, and then the team kind of broke apart, fell to pieces, and he ended up moving to Texas, opening a new academy. The other team members dissipated, and then the team fell apart. And then right about that time, I graduated from college, and so I didn't have a team anymore. But I was probably a good blue belt. I'd been a blue belt for about 2 years already, but I wasn't going to get a purple belt because the team fell apart, and I just didn't know where to go, to be honest. And Chris he's just not fond of the gi at all, right? He's just a boogie guy,
MMA fighter.
Yeah, right. So I never had any inclination to join an academy that has gis. And to be honest, I thought the two arts were completely different. I didn't realize how similar they really are, that you can basically use all your no-gi moves in a gi and they work just fine. Or I thought people were just trash me in the gi because I didn't know what I was doing. So I never thought to join a gi academy, and I ended up joining the Peace Corps instead. And I left the country for 2 years, lived in Turkmenistan, and I worked as an English teacher in a village. And then sitting out there in the middle of nowhere for 2 years really gives you some time to think about your life and what you want to do with it.
What year is this? What's the time frame here?
I started jiu-jitsu 2003.
Okay.
I graduated college in 2005, and I entered the Peace Corps in 2006.
Got it. Okay.
So I had about a year where I was finishing school, not training, and then filling out my paperwork for the Peace Corps. It took me like 6 months to 9 months to get in.
Okay.
It's a fucking process. So yeah, then I sat in the village for 2 years and just thought about everything, life and myself, and a lot of personal development happened. And I realized how much I love jiu-jitsu and how I really need jiu-jitsu in my life. Like that. And that's what I'm kind of experiencing right now. And I feel like a lot of people are experiencing that right now with this lockdown, is like the thing you love has been taken from you. You're sitting in isolation, bored as fuck. And all we can think about is, God damn, I miss training so much. And just think about how fucking hard everyone's going to train when we get back into it. So this is what I dealt with for 2 years in the fucking village.
Yeah.
Withering away. I had no weights to lift. I had no internet, no cell phones, barely any electricity. You know, the best thing I could do is go run in the desert. I had
you had stillness.
Right. Yeah. And I had clarity.
Yeah.
When all the noise is gone and you know, during this lockdown, we don't have silence. Okay. We don't.
No.
We have the media all up in our ears. We have our fucking social media friends all up in our ears. But in that village, man, I had peace, just peace and silence and clarity. And I knew that jiu-jitsu was what I loved and jiu-jitsu is what I wanted. So when I came back, I just jumped in 100% all in and just trained my ass off for like probably 5 straight years of just full-time training.
At Atos?
No, Atos didn't exist yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry. Atos is 12, right?
Yeah. Atos was founded in 2008 in Brazil. Okay. Didn't come to the US until 2010.
Right.
So I came back and I started training with the brothers of my former coach, Chris, because Chris was in Texas, but his younger brothers, who are just enormous sacks of shit, they opened an academy. Oh, no. Bro, they borrowed tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars from their friends, and then they just disappeared. They vanished. They left everyone with this debt. I lent them $20,000, and they just disappeared, and I never got it back to this day. And then I found out that they did this to like half a dozen other people too. And then I found out that their name is Jake and Zach Brennan, and both of them have academies right now. One of them is in Waco, Texas, and the other one is, I think, is in Redondo Beach. And they're enormous sacks of shit who steal money from their friends. So I just want to say that publicly.
Man,
their mother was actually indicted on felony fraud.
Didn't Chris get in trouble too? I thought he got in trouble for something.
No, but he was linked to them, and he ended up having to. After they fucked all their friends, they went to Texas to train with him.
Okay.
Of course, they ended up fucking him too.
Right.
And they ended up taking like more than $100,000 from him, and he had to either pay it or lose his entire business. The business was leveraged on this loan that they took out, and they took that money and they fucking split from him too. So I was with him just a few months ago, and we sat down and caught up, and I didn't know about it. That's when he told me about his own mother being arrested and indicted for fraud because she was convincing students to take out student loans. They would take like one course at a community college and then take out a massive student loan from a private lender. And then they would give her the money to do whatever she was trying to do with it. And then she promised to pay them back with interest. And
Dude, who the fuck falls for this? What? I mean, like I get getting over on old people, right? Like that, like, you know, someone that doesn't know what a goddamn email is yet, right. You know, like I get that, but how the fuck, like, man, if you know what the internet is, how do you get over on someone like this?
I know, but they got me too, man. But I was living with them. I had been one of their best.
Yeah, but you're their student. It's different.
I know. I was one of their best friends, bro. We were.
Yeah.
I lived with them for years under the same roof. For years, we had moved locations together multiple times. Like, no, I'd spent all day, every day with these guys for like 3 years. We were best friends, and they just completely fucked me. So. Anyways.
Okay. So they're out now. Where are you?
So then I moved to Arizona.
Okay.
And I took up a job teaching jiu-jitsu full time at Undisputed, which was a San Diego chain that had one branch in Arizona.
I checked out Undisputed when we were thinking about opening ETC.
Barry Yoshida was under them for years.
Right.
And then they had a big problem. They had a falling out. All the different locations split off and did their own thing. And Barrett went to the arena where he is now. And then I was just stuck in Arizona by myself with no one to train under. Barrett was kind of like the sensei of all the Undisputeds, you know? And when I got my brown belt, I was under Barrett. So that all split up, and I couldn't really go anywhere. I couldn't really stick with Barrett. I couldn't really talk to him. I was out there. He was in San Diego, and it was really bad blood between the owners and all the other former partners. So I stayed in Arizona and taught jiu-jitsu for 3 years, just no-gi jiu-jitsu. And this was around 2010. And I went to Grappler's Quest, and I had this match with Bill Cooper. I did. Yeah. I was a brown belt, and I signed up for the no-gi advanced division. And Bill had signed up, but he was a black belt, but it didn't matter because it was just no-gi. It was just the advanced division.
I have a story about this, but go ahead.
And, bro, we had a great match, man. It's on YouTube, and he ended up winning, but it was a fucking beast of a match, man. I think the score was 4-4. Kind of went back and forth. I attacked him. He attacked me. And he pulled off the armbar at the end, bro. I was just exhausted because I had never been pushed so fucking hard. Like, I had never felt world-class jiu-jitsu until that match.
Right.
I never had any idea what a world-class jiu-jitsu athlete felt like. And he put it on me, and I was just amazed. And I thought to myself, what the fuck does Bill do that I don't do? Because I train every day, and I train hard. And this guy, the speed and the pace and the skills that he had, I was really impressed. And I thought, fuck, this guy trains in a gi, and I don't. And I thought, that's what the fucking problem is. That's why he's so strong, because he's training with all those resistance, all the grips that, you know, they force you to constrict your core way harder. So I thought, fuck, I got to start training in a gi. So I put a fucking gi on that year. That was the year I first put a gi on, man. I was like a brown belt, no gi. And I was like, I'm going to put this fucking gi on, and I used to talk shit about the gi all the time too. I was one of those guys.
Well, you came from the next generation, right? So that's where your roots
That was what you did. You talk shit about the gi.
The gi sucks. The gi sucks. Yeah. Why would you wear a gi? The gi is very important, I think.
My jujitsu since I've been training in the gi.
Yeah, it's very important. It makes you understand.
It's so simple to me now. Right. Once you deal with the complexities of the gi and then you go to a no gi situation, it's like, oh, this is so fucking simple.
Right.
It's just easy. It's not even exciting. It's not even interesting, to be honest.
So I still like no gi better.
I'm better at no gi for sure. And because of that, I have more fun. Right? Because when you're good at something, right?
I just love the leg entanglements. I love the leg locks.
Like that? I'm not.
Yeah. I love them. Yeah, I mean, look, man, it's the only way I've been successful here. Like in my old age.
Yeah, but you love it because you're good at it, or maybe you're good
I know, because I got to like come back. You know, like I'm fucking old, man. I'm almost 40.
That's why I trip out on these guys that are always talking about like they're like, oh, it's not fun to train in the gi. I said, man, it's fun when you're winning. Everything's fun when you're winning.
Right. You know, right. Everything's fun when you're winning.
It's just like starting jiu-jitsu. You're going to suck for a while. It's not going to be that fun, but luckily jiu-jitsu is fun even when you suck at it.
I agree.
It is fun.
I agree.
Remember how stoked you were when you signed up as a white belt?
Yeah. I mean,
this is the fucking greatest thing ever. This is so fun. I don't care if I'm getting my ass kicked.
I got that, but getting my ass kicked is what brought me into jiu-jitsu. Like I did karate my whole life. I did the wall, you know? Okay. And then, so this was the 80s and 90s, right? And then one of my buddies who I came up in karate with, he was older. He was, in his 30s and I was 18, 17, something like that. And you would go against your friends in tournaments because like you're not fucking hurting each other, right? It's sparring. So he dodged my division one year. And I was like, you fucking pussy. I was like, you are so scared. And I'm 18, full of fucking testosterone, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm scared. Come to my house Friday. And I was like, all right, word, I'll fuck you up. So I go to his house Friday and I have no clue what this jiu-jitsu shit that he's doing. This is 1997, 98.
Oh, why are you wrapping your legs around me?
I couldn't do anything. We started on the feet. No, we started on the feet. We just fought.
Oh, you guys are like sparring. Like,
yeah. We just fought. Like, we just went at it. No gloves. We put a mouthpiece in and we fought.
You guys are just socking each other's faces, bare knuckle?
He didn't even, I tried to hit him and I couldn't because he would just double leg me. Because he wrestled too. He's a good wrestler, so he's a very good wrestler. State champ in New Jersey. So he would get me down easily because I had no clue how to fucking wrestle. And then he would choke me the fuck out. And like this went on for 2 hours. And I was like, oh my God, I got to learn this.
Yeah. Yeah. I was a really good wrestler in high school. I finished, I won the CIF regionals. I was placed seated in the top 10 for masters. I think I lost one match my senior year, and then, I was so arrogant and cocky, and I went in there. I was like, no, I'm going to be able to take these guys. No problem. I don't know what this jiu-jitsu shit is, but I know how to wrestle, and that's all that matters. And bro, I got trashed.
Yeah. Everyone does that.
By this little girl named Erica Montoya. She used to be a commentator for the UFC.
I know who she is. Fuck yeah. Yeah, man. She's an OG.
Yeah. So she was like Chris's prodigy.
Yeah, her and Ghazi Parma. You remember Ghazi Parma?
Oh, I'm still friends with Ghazi.
Okay, fuck yeah. What's Ghazi doing?
She's sells real estate in Georgia.
Okay.
But she still does jiu-jitsu. She teaches at an academy. She has a little kids program. But I think her main career is just selling real estate.
Nice.
And but she's still active.
So her and Erica and Ghazi used to fucking scrap back in the day. They hated each other.
Yeah, they were like the two best girls, and Kira Gracie. They were like the three best girls in jiu-jitsu, I think.
In the gi, nobody touched Kira though.
Oh, of course. Even Nogi. Kira, I think Kira beat them both up at ADCC.
ADCC.
Yeah.
She had more trouble though. In the gi, she just trashed them.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Erica didn't even she was a no-gi person too. Like she had a few years in the gi, but.
Right. All right. So where are we? So 2010, right? And now you put the gi on. Where did you find Andre?
So I moved. So after Tucson, I got it seemed like a dead end to me, the place I was training at. And I was an instructor, but I wasn't really going anywhere in terms of career. So to be honest, I got sick of teaching and I got sick of being a full-time athlete. So I went to graduate school. I applied to 5 graduate programs around the country and I got accepted to a few of them, and I chose to go to Indiana University because they have a language program, and they have a regional studies program for the area that I lived in, Turkmenistan, Central Asia. So they had a department called Central Eurasian Studies, and I applied for a scholarship because I speak Turkmen, and very few people on this planet speak Turkmen.
Outside of Turkey, outside of there, I'm assuming.
Outside of Turkmen, almost no one. No one. Like, this university has every language program you can possibly imagine, bro. They have Uzbek, they have Kazakh, they have Persian, all the dialects of Persian. They don't even have Turkmen because it's just such a difficult language to find. So I got a badass scholarship to go to that program. And so I went there, I started studying, and then they had a joint program with the a bunch of different schools actually, but I signed up for this joint program to study finance in one school and then Central Eurasian languages in the other school. So I was studying languages in one part of the department and studying finance in the other because I feel like I needed a practical skill that I could use in my job. So, and I liked economics. I always thought economics is super interesting. So I signed up for this master's program in finance. It was a master's in public affairs with a focus on financial administration.
Okay.
Anyways, so I did that for 3 years. And then while I was there, an Andre Galvao black belt messaged me, who lived about 30 minutes away. His name was Tim Sled. He was Andre's first American affiliate. And so Tim invited me to come train with him, and that's what I did. And then Andre came out for a seminar. That's when I met him. We trained. We had a really good training session. It's actually on YouTube. It's like ADCC champion Andre Galvao trains with Josh Hinger or something. And it was the first time I ever trained with Andre, which was in 2011, right after he won double gold in London.
Okay.
Nottingham, I think. Yeah. 2011. So, but I didn't have a team. I was training with Tim as a friend, and I didn't really have a team to sign up under. And I wanted to do Nogi Pans as a brown belt. And so I messaged Andre a few months later, and I was like, "Hey man, like, can I be on your team? Is that cool? Like, can I?" He was like, "Yeah, sure." But he had already, like, when I met him, he had recruited me. Like, he tried to recruit me. He was like, "Josh, I need you to come to San Diego and train with me because you have a good guillotine, and I'm going to fight Braulio next year, and I need help on my guillotines, and it'd be cool if you could come, like, just try to guillotine me as much as possible." And I was just like, man, that sounds awesome, but I have to finish this program because I have a scholarship. They give me a fuck ton of money. I can't walk away from it. I'll have to pay them back if I do.
Right.
So I was like, I got to finish this. And then he would come back out every 6 months for a year, and he just kept hounding me. Like, bro,
hounding you.
Yeah. I was like, I need you to come to San Diego. And so when I finished the program, that's what I did. I just said no to all the jobs. I didn't want any of them. I didn't want to do finance. I didn't want to work for the government. I was going to go into the State Department or like work for USAID or get a job as an analyst with a finance department, the government finance department. And I just said no. I said, man, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to deal with Excel sheets. I don't give a fuck about PowerPoint presentations. I don't give a fuck about you or your suits or your numbers. I'm going to go to jiu-jitsu. So I literally packed up my shit from Indiana, and I drove to San Diego, and I joined Atos. I was already part of the team, but I wasn't training.
Right. But
yeah, basically Andre convinced me to drop my life and go do some jiu-jitsu. And he told me
such a great convincing.
Bro, he told me the day that I met him, he said, "Josh, give me 1 year and I'll make you a world champion." He's like, just give me 1 year. And I was like, all right. I will give you a year, but not right now.
I'm going to owe way too much money if I give you this year.
But yeah, he held true, man. He trained me, man. Yeah. He trained me. He changed my brain a lot. He changed my jiu-jitsu a lot.
Talk about that. Talk about change your brain. What did he do?
Well, like, for example, I would always go into jiu-jitsu matches and just be like, I don't care what happens. I'm just going to have fun.
Right.
If I lose, whatever. If I win, whatever. I don't care about points. I'm going for sub only. Like, I just want submissions. And I would lose matches all the time because I was careless about my positioning. I would give up sweeps all the time. No problem. I didn't care. I was like, oh, sweep me, fine. I know how to triangle people off my back. I have this one triangle setup that I love, and I just try to do it to everyone. And I've had a lot of success with it. And
hard to have a run of it at a tournament though, right? That's the hard thing is that's what I feel, right? Like, you get all the way to the semis or the quarters or even the finals sometimes. So, but like, especially your weight, you got like 7-8 matches, right. So to hit that setup on 7 to 8 guys, it's hard. You have to be way more strategic than that.
It's just hard to submit guys at brown and black belt. It's fucking hard, man. They don't tap. I had Sinistro's arm fucking stretched out, bro. And I was like, I got this. I win. I fucking win. That's it. And the match isn't over yet. I'm still holding his arm. This is a Nogi Pans. I'm still holding his arm. It's stretched out. I was like, I basically awarded myself the victory right then. And then he wasn't tapping. And I was like, what the fuck? Why is this guy not tapping? I start pulling on his arm now. I start cranking on it slowly because I had never popped someone's arm before.
Right.
And I didn't want to either, to be honest. And then he starts pulling the arm out all the way. I was like, oh, fuck. And then I start cranking it really hard and it starts popping. And then he fucking got the arm out. And I was like, and he was winning 4-2. And I was like, fuck me. I had never experienced that. Someone who was willing to let their arm break because they're winning on points and they want to win the match. And it's a fucking brown belt match. It's not even like black belt.
You're not even like a real world champion yet.
Not even worlds. It's a fucking Nogi Pans. It's nothing.
Dude, I had that match fucking me and Brandon Vera.
Yeah?
Like, in the UFC 137. I lose the first round. First round's close. Definitely lose the second. And in the third, I just start fucking him up. Right? Like, and I like Brandon, but I beat his ass, and then at the end, right? Boom. I'm behind him. I lay him forward, and we're in the turtle, boom, roll him over, get his back, he rolls out, boom, get his arm, and there it is, right? I mean, and then it just breaks.
And in your mind, you're like, yeah!
But then it breaks, and when it breaks, you have nothing to pull on anymore.
Right?
And it just bloop, and it limps out.
Yep.
Right? And then the bell rings.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I still don't know how I lost that fight, but that's another day, right? I mean, like he got dropped twice and got his arm broken in one round. So, I mean, that's got to at least be a 10-8, right? Like, so how I lose the fight, I don't know.
Automatic 10-8, right?
No, not in MMA, but 2 drops now. We're talking 2. We're talking 2 drops and a broken arm. But either way, and then he didn't fight for 11 months because of arm surgeries.
Right.
But I still lost.
Right.
Oh, shit. But either way, right? Like, people don't fucking tap. It is really hard to submit.
I had never experienced that, man. It just completely blew my mind at that moment. I was like, what the fuck, this guy? So, and the reason he got points on me is because I didn't care about being swept. I didn't even resist it. So Andre basically was just like, Josh, you need to stop accepting shit. He didn't say shit. He doesn't curse, but he's like, stop accepting sweeps. Stop accepting takedowns or points. He's like, you got to fight for these positions. You have to fight for every square inch of that mat, because if they get ahead of you on the points, they're just going to defend. And that's what Sinistro was doing. He was just defending when he got ahead. And I was like, fuck, I never really thought about that. That people are going to stall out the clock or try to kill the clock when they're ahead on the points. So he basically just helped turn me into a little more aggressive competitor.
Got it.
Not accepting positions, not accepting points, fighting harder, just being like, no, Josh, you're not going to go out there and have fun. You're going to go out there and win.
That is what is the most fun.
Right. And that's what, he goes, losing isn't fun. He's like, if you want to have fun, you're going to have to win. So, and I don't know. I had some losses early on in my black belt career, and I was kind of beating myself up over it. But he would really get in my ear and just be like, no, Josh, you're going to win. Don't worry. You're fucking great. And I lost at Nogi Worlds in 2014. And this is when Andre was kind of in my head about, give me 1 year. So I went to Nogi Worlds in 2014. I'd only been training with him for about 4 months, and I lost first round. And, but I was like, it's whatever. I'm still adapting. Like the switch that I made from training in Indiana to training at Atos was massive. It was fucking massive, I mean,
Atos has killers we don't even know about.
Bro, just everyone JT was there. Keenan was there. All these fucking savages were there. Michael Lier Jr., Mike Carbolito. Like, these dudes are fucking tough.
Yeah, I like Lier. Lier's out here now. We just did a podcast. I'm a fan. Yeah. I'm a Lier fan.
Dude, he's great. He's fucking great.
He came out here correctly, right? Like when he came out here, there was no surprises. Like he wouldn't come to the school, and then he talked to us. He's like, "Look, I'm going to open. That's why I'm here." So we're like, man, it's cool. Come on in. Right. And then it was like totally open and transparent the whole way. Like it's shitty when like the guy's like, oh, I'm just here checking out Denver. Right. And then you're like, yeah, train me. And then you're like, oh shit, you're not here checking out Denver, cocksucker. You're opening in Denver. Right. Like, and that was not what he did. So he handled that so well that like, and then we got to handle it well on the back end,
It's good. It's good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. He's a good guy. I've never known him to be a sneaky or shady guy. He's a straight up dude. He doesn't gossip. He doesn't like drama. He just wants to train and fucking live life.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I love him.
I'm a fan.
He was a purple belt back then.
Okay. Yeah.
Savage purple belt too, man. Like if he was on your back, you were fucked. I was a black belt, dude.
I think it's still that way, right? If he's on your back, you're fucked.
Even as a purple belt, and I was a black belt, if he was on your back, you're not getting him off. Like he was just like. So, but yeah, anyways, Andre gave me my black belt when I was in Indiana. And then, I moved out to Atos in San Diego, summer of 2014. I lost at No-Gi Worlds that December. The next year I came back and I was like, this is my year. I'm fucking ready. This is it. I've been training for over a year now. I'm in shape. I have some experience. I know what to do. Boom. I go out there. I win my first match. Fuck yeah. I'm feeling good. Go out for my second match. Busted my foot. I got caught in a toe hold, popped my ankle. That was my first time having my foot like ripped off. And man, I was super disappointed, but whatever. What are you going to do? Lucas Barbosa ended up winning the division. He was my teammate and we were both in the same division. So if I think about it, it's probably better that I got taken out a little earlier so I didn't have to fight my friend in the finals, because I would have. We close out at small tournaments, but usually the big tournaments, like,
I don't think closing out should be allowed at the big tournaments.
No, man. Like
unless it's your professor. I could see you quitting to Andre.
Yeah, that would be super awesome. I wouldn't want to.
Right. So that is the only scenario.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. Okay. That's your dad. That's like your jiu-jitsu dad. So you don't have to fight that guy, but teammates should scrap, man. I want to know who the best is.
Me and Keenan fought 4 times.
Yeah. You should, and you should be able to be friends afterwards.
It was fine. We had a great time, and it was perfect because I won the no-gi match and he won the gi match. So it was like we both had wins, we both had losses, and we both felt good about it, and we can both talk shit to each other, and it's still funny.
Right. As it should be. That like you should be able to handle that.
Yeah.
Like you fight in the school.
Right. Exactly. And we talk shit to each other while we're fighting in the school. So big deal. But I remember, and I told this to Drysdale the other day on his podcast. Keenan had me actually in a triangle in one of the gi matches. It was at American Nationals, and he was stretching out my arm, right, stuck in the triangle, but he was ripping on my arm, and I wasn't going to tap. And he goes, he whispers to me, like, "What are you doing?" "I'm going to break your arm." And I was like, "No, you won't." You won't fucking do it. And he didn't. He let me out because he wasn't and I knew he wouldn't. He was winning on points though, so I think that's why. I think if he was losing on points, I think maybe
that would have been a different scenario. If he was 10-0, he would have been like, "Yo, fuck your arm, son."
So yeah, and so anyways, Lucas Barbosa ended up winning No-Gi Worlds that year, and which was still cool for me to see my friend do that. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And then next year, 2016 was the year that I won. So
you got to he came, a little late, but you are a world champion.
He fulfilled his promise. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won again in 2017 and again in 2018.
So you're a 3-time champ.
Yeah. Only non-Brazilian ever to do that.
Fuck yeah. There's a
Lovato won it 3 times, but not in a row.
The no-gi?
Yeah, No-Gi Worlds. He won.
Got it.
He won it 2 years in a row, and then he got silver 1 year, and then he won it a 3rd time. But what's cool about Lovato is that he did it in 3 different weight classes.
Yeah.
So I think he's the only American ever to win No-Gi Worlds in 3 different weight classes, and I'm the only non-Brazilian on planet Earth who won it 3 years in a row.
Gotcha. Fuck yeah.
Because I think Kyotera won it like 9 years or something in a row or something.
Right.
He has the record, and I think Cyborg's at like 6.
Brazilians though.
Yeah, right.
Brazilians. I would say Lovato's the best American.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, Lovato.
Pretty hard to argue.
Yeah. Well, just because the gi and the no gi.
He won it in the gi.
He won it in the gi and he won it in no gi.
The only argument you can make is Musumeci now. because he won no gi worlds the first year that I won it, 2016, and then he went and did the gi.
Got 3 in the gi, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, Lovato also has podium places at ADCC.
ADCC.
And
all right, Musumeci's up there. It's those two.
Yeah, and
it's
then
those two.
And then Lovato took it to another level and won the Bellator title.
God, right? I mean, his brain thing. I mean, like, he's going to be okay. Right? He's going to be okay. It looks like. So it almost is a perfect ending there because
he went out as a champ, and that was
went out as the champ, beating Mousasi, right?
Yeah.
Not like, it's not like he didn't, like, because sometimes people go like people talk shit on Bader, right? Because Bader didn't win the title in anything in the UFC or Pride or, you know, and then like he went and like kind of beat up on some old guys and won the Bellator titles, right? But so like they talk shit to him. Mousasi was for a legit champ, like a legit champ for a long. And I'm not saying Bader's not, right? But there's an argument to be made against Bader. There's not with Mousasi, right?
When you beat the best for the title, that's cool. That's fucking, I mean, it's cool to be the champion, not taking anything away from anyone,
right?
But it's like, man, it's like if you beat McGregor for the belt, it's something else, you know? Sure.
The person, I don't know if John Jones is ever going to fight again, but the person that beats John Jones, right? Like, it's like that, right? You know, it's like when Weidman beat Anderson.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Like, so.
The level is special.
And I love Lovato. He's a star, but like, look, we all know what the end of fight careers look like. Like you get beat up.
Yeah.
Like somebody fucks you up. Even if you become Anderson, even if he would become Anderson, it wouldn't end, nobody ends pretty. Like GSP is the only one that's ended pretty.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
And so now he just gets to go out as like a goat, you know, as a
everyone a standing applause, you know, like, oh fuck, man. And you can only wish him the best because he's just a good dude.
Yeah, and you know, and he followed his passion and followed his dream all the way through it. You know, like I wish I would have taken the Lovato route more than what I did.
Yeah,
like I was like he and I were like right there as brown belts. You know, he was a couple years ahead of me, but we had won all the same stuff. You know, and we had both like traveled and like all of that because back in like, you know, the early 2000s. There was no what it is now. Like it was hard. It was hard to compete.
Grappler's Quest, bro. That was it.
Yeah, it was it. And then like you had to travel to Tezuka, the Tezuka Tennis Club to really, you know, and then you had the pans. So like I had won all the pans, right? Like boom, you know, but then other than that, it was all traveling. So he and I were like right there as far as gi and no gi. And then he's like we didn't talk about this, but like he kept the MMA, the jiu-jitsu thing. And I was like, I'm going to fight fucking MMA, you know? And
so you jumped in MMA way sooner. He stayed with jiu-jitsu for a lot longer. And then he did jiu-jitsu after he had already won a whole bunch of shit in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. He became a world champion, right? Like I should looking back at it, and don't get me wrong, man, like fuck, I had an amazing go. You know, it was
sure. Anyone who ever got the fight in the UFC is a fucking, that's one of the best fucking bucket list items.
You get a bucket list. Yeah. Yeah. You get a bucket list.
Bucket. It's like its own bucket.
Yeah, for sure. I'll disagree with it. It's too easy now, in my opinion, to get in.
Think so?
And now? Yeah, man. Yeah, you can get in off nothing.
Well, they do bring people on contract way easier, even if they don't use them. Right. But to be a contracted UFC fighter is pretty common. Even if you're not getting fights, you might not get fights.
No, you might not get fights. Like, I mean, look, I wasn't even that good. I didn't have nothing. But like, it just because back, or like, you know, in the
UFC was it?
My first UFC was in 2008.
What number was it?
It was the Ultimate Fighter finale. So, because I came in off the show in 08.
Which season was that?
The season 8. Nogueira and Mir were the coaches.
Nice.
So like there was only, 40 guys in the whole world in your weight class that anybody knew anything about. Right. So if you hit the UFC, you were like automatically top 20.
Right.
Like just the contract got you to be top 20.
Right.
So, so that's what I mean by it was a little different, right? You were fighting a top 20 guy no matter what. There was no way out of it. So that's why, like, so, but you know, the sport has to grow, and I totally understand that. And I think the top of the UFC is better now than the top of the UFC when I was fighting.
Sure. I think the champions now would fucking destroy the champions back in the day.
Yeah.
And that's to be honest, that's the statement that Keenan got crucified for, that he was trying to say that competitors now are way better than the competitors back in the day. But I think it's true for any sport. Keenan,
I agree, but you can't touch you know, and you can't touch Hickson.
He started naming.
Yeah, you can't touch Hickson, man.
That's where he messed up. He started.
Yeah, you can't touch Hickson. Like, you can't do that because none of us would be here without Hickson.
Right.
Like,
you can make the argument without naming people.
Without naming people. Yes. You can just say it, and then everyone will agree with you. Right. Like, no one's going to try to say that the guy playing basketball in 1960 could even be on the court with LeBron. I could probably beat the guy from 1960. Right. Like, because he had to go work
LeBron.
Yeah. You know, like, so I couldn't even make a high school team now. Right? You know, but you could name almost anybody you wanted. You just can't touch Hickson because
he also touched Elio, which
like you can't do that. Like we wouldn't be here without them.
Right.
And to their credit, and not like, and I've never really met Keenan. You know, I've like seen him, you know, like I think we know who each other are probably, but like those dudes defended the art. Those dudes were like knocking on doors, fucking, you know, where the, like, I mean, go say, you know, De La Hiva, go say, Teddy, go say whoever the fuck you want, other than like, you can't touch they're untouchables.
Right.
You know, they're just untouchables.
Let's be honest. He was trying to be
controversial. yeah, of course. And then he got it.
And to this day, he still is.
Yeah. You know, and he got it. So what is it like for you right now with, you know, to close out with with coronavirus? Like, what's going on?
The worst thing ever, because to be honest, man, I was going to open an academy this year. This was my year to open the academy. You know, I put it off for years. You know, after I first won Nogi Worlds, I was like, oh fuck, I can do this. Like, this can be my career. That's when I had this like epiphany about you know, staying with jiu-jitsu full time forever until I die. And then I kept pushing it back a year. I was like, oh, you know, I want to win a few more tournaments and build my name a little bit more and just develop myself more. And this was the year, man. 2020 was going to be my Open the Academy year. And I had figured out an area. I had money saved up. I was ready to do it. I didn't need a partner. I didn't need loans. All I had to do was find the location, man. And I probably searched locations for about a month right before this happened.
Well, good thing you didn't, bro.
Right. And I'm thankful. that I didn't pull the trigger. I know a guy on my team. He's a physical fitness. That's his business. He's a trainer.
Okay.
He signed a lease on a building, bro, like the week before everything started getting shut down.
So he's got no income.
No. He just has a lease that he has to pay on and no income.
Man, fuck that. We're going to tell our landlords to fuck off. Like, so I own a couple of the buildings, so that we're fine there. I'm the landlord, right?
Right.
But then the other ones, they're going to fuck off. Is
the bank working with you at all?
Yeah, the bank's working with us for sure. But
well, you know, the banks are probably working with your other landlords.
Right. Yeah. Of course they are.
Right.
Yeah. Of course they are. You know, so these guys are trying to be dicks. And it's like, look, man, you have a couple options here. Right. Like, so you can kick me out, which you're going to do. Sure, you might ruin my credit, but that's not even going to matter when this is all over.
You're so well established, it doesn't matter right now.
Right. That's not even going to matter. Or you can like have me in the lease and we can just defer the lease. And when this all ends, you know, I'm going to be paying again. I've never missed a payment. Right. Like we've been in business in some of these, like, at the places we're talking about 10 years, we've never fucking missed. So like, let's just work with each other here.
Right.
And you know, I get it. I'll have to pay a little bit, but you know, I'm not paying the whole fucking thing. How can I do that?
Right. Even my apartment complex allowed us to break up our rent into multiple payments.
Yeah. Which you have to work with people.
Yeah. It's nice. I mean, I don't need it, but I'm glad that they made the gesture.
Right.
You know? And they actually gave us a $50 gift card for paying our rent on time.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And dude, our governor came out and said there's going to be no evictions. They will not process any evictions.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Right. So
you know,
just be a team player.
Just, yeah, we're in this together.
Team Earth, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's what you should tell them.
Do you, if you kick me out when all this ends, you know how cheap your rent is going to have to go?
Yeah.
Right. You're going to have to go to like 20% of what you're charging me.
Right.
So you just do that math. Even if this lasted 10 months, I'd make up what you would charge in a month.
Right.
So just don't be an idiot.
It's so hard to fill up a building too, bro. He's going to say that building will be vacant for months upon
months.
Right.
Just don't be stupid here.
Whenever you get a new tenant, you have to give them a few months to do a new build out, right? For whatever their business might be.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Not smart. Yeah. Not smart.
Wins if we work together.
Yeah. We need, first of all, we need transparency and truth. Right. Like everyone, like even, God, I know it's killing me that the school owners I'm seeing that some of the school owners are doing that. They're just, I talked about this on the webinar. God, the people that are saying that they're going to pay, like if you pay while we're closed, that we'll pay you back. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's weird. That money, I feel like that money would disappear.
It would disappear. How are you going to pay your bills once you're open again?
Right.
Like if you have to cut, let's say you have to cut your bills, your income by 30% because you're paying money back now on a loan. That's a really high interest rate loan, man.
Right.
You'd go under the month you'd open again, you'd go under.
Right.
But you see a lot of people saying this. You can't say that.
Right. That's weird.
You have to have cash. This literally is like you're donating to your favorite nonprofit right now.
24 Hour Fitness charged me this week. And I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Why are you processing credit card charges when you're not open? And then we got an email saying, oh, they're going to extend your membership on the back end.
No, fuck off.
I was like, motherfucker, I pay month to month.
Yeah, no.
So basically you're going to tell me when I want to end my membership, you're going to extend it for me for free for another month? That doesn't make any fucking sense because if I want to end it, there's a fucking reason I want to end it. I'm moving somewhere.
Yeah.
So you're going to extend it for me? That doesn't help me it doesn't make any sense.
And look, there's going to be a 24-hour fitness open somewhere. Jiu-jitsu schools are different, right? Like people love their jiu-jitsu schools. Like it's all about the community. It's not even about the jiu-jitsu.
No, it's
right. It's about the lifestyle. Yeah.
It's a fucking team. It's a family.
It's a family. So, but cool, man. Tell everyone, I know you have a podcast, Matt Burn, right?
Yeah. The Matt Burn podcast.
Is that you and Keenan still, or just mostly you, or what is it?
It is 100% property of me.
Okay.
I own the LLC. I own the trademark, but Keenan is an irreplaceable asset to the podcast.
All right.
So I need to keep him around because he knows how to do all the techie stuff that I don't want to learn how to do.
Got you.
Hey, before we go, I have a question for you.
Okay.
As someone who's opened up multiple academies, what would be your advice to me, someone who's never opened an academy, but I want to in the future, obviously not this year, probably next year or even the following year. What were some traps that you maybe stumbled upon that you would like to warn someone like me?
Yep. A couple things. Number one, establish core values. Something that you'll lose friends and money over, like the things that your school is about.
Okay.
Right. And then define what they are. Okay. The second thing would be what the E-Myth says to do, which is have systems for everything. Don't just get the jobs done.
Okay.
Okay. Because you need to replace yourself at some point.
Right.
Right. You have to make yourself replaceable. And the only way to do that is to have systems like as if you were going to franchise.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that anybody can come in and you can go, here's the booklet.
Right.
Right. And then the third thing, and this is where jiu-jitsu schools, in my opinion, really fuck it up. This is something that people really fuck up. No contracts, homie.
You're saying don't do contracts?
No, sir.
I was going to ask you about that.
No contracts. That changes that. It changes the dynamic. Right. Because when and everyone goes, but I'm going to show up and provide the best to them. They have to commit to me. And you have to, in my opinion, right. Obviously this is all just my opinion.
Of course.
But if you look at it as I know you're a 3-time world champ. right? And sometimes this is hard for people that have been successful, me included, right? Like, it is your privilege that any one person would actually show up and walk in your door and choose to spend that hour with you. It is not the student's privilege that you're teaching them.
Yeah.
I'm
down with that.
If you can come at it from that point of view, then what do you need a contract for?
Right. Because
you're going to show up and you're going to provide the absolute best class every single time.
It is a way to keep yourself accountable, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, you signed a contract now.
And yeah.
You want, right. Yeah. This person can leave you at any moment.
Any minute they can leave. Yeah. Right. It's like a relationship. You can't be a fucking dick to your spouse. Because right, like the piece of
them until you marry them, and
yeah,
piece of shit.
yeah, right. But you can't be. But even with your spouse, the piece of paper, the contract, isn't why you stay.
Right, of course.
Right, that's not why anybody stays. So it's a fucking piece of paper. And then think about the contract. Yeah, and then think about the contract. What are you going to take people to collections? No.
Ruin their credit because you're a shit instructor and they don't want to train with you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. And then they don't want to pay the $350 to get out of the,
Right.
The Joe Rogan podcast fucking changed my mind on this. Remember Ting, the cell phone company?
No.
Oh, so it was like, I don't even know if they're around anymore. It was like 10 years. So when we first opened one of our big schools, right. The Denver location, I'd be driving home at night and I'd listen to Rogan, and he had this company called Ting. It was a cell phone company, and they were the first cell phone company to do no contracts. And he's like, yeah, man, why would you lock someone in a contract? That just means you're going to have a shitty product.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, but everyone hates their cell phone company. Right. I was like, yeah, but I'm a piece of shit. I lock people in. Fuck, I lock it, and and then I was like, we got to go away from this.
Can't be a hypocrite.
And it so upped our product. Right. It's so upped our product because nobody's going to have a better product than us. I'm not saying that
you're keeping yourself accountable.
Right. I'm not saying that somebody doesn't have better jiu-jitsu than me. That's not of course that will always be happening. Yeah, right. Sure. But it's when you walk in the school from the second that the phone that you call, from the second that you walk in the door, from what your first month is like, from how you feel. Yeah. So that's what it is. So, but no contracts.
Cool. I appreciate your insights.
Those three things are the key. Core values, systemizing, no contracts. So, all right, man. Hinger BJJ, right? At Hinger BJJ.
Yeah. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Hinger BJJ, or you can follow the Matt Burn podcast on Instagram, and you can check out my YouTube channel, Joshua Hinger. That's about it.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to close this bitch up, and then we'll don't hang up. So as everyone knows, you all have a unique power. You're not special. Your mommy's lied to you. But you do have something unique that is amazing about you. Go out there and find your power. Don't try to be Josh Hinger. Don't try to be Eliot Marshall. Don't try to be Keenan Cornelius or anybody else that we talked about on this podcast. You be you. You find your greatness, and that is what amazingness and a great life looks like. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot.